yes or no. Just let me know. Just take your time. Young nigga, my nigga, stay on your grind.
And I have 5 fantastic speakers for you. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the first speaker.
And thank you everyone for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. I hope both from this now and elsewise you get lots of benefits for your business. So we're going to talk about how to measure your brand online. I want to just talk about a little bit more about me. I had 10 years marketing experience working for different companies, some of Europe's leading within their sector. And in 2015 I set up Fruitful Marketing, a marketing agency. And a few campaigns we worked on, the first being we worked with a charity who had a 2-day annual seminar, and we did a digital marketing campaign. On the back of that, they received a 1,200% return of investment. Another, we looked at their sales process, literally ripped it to shreds and started again. On the back of that, they started winning new orders, which have added over 6 figures to their annual turnover. And finally, another one, we worked with them on a social media campaign, giving them advice on there, and as a result, they were able to achieve a 433% increase in their website traffic, which was a big thing for their business. So why have I told you that? Is it to boost my own ego? Have we got a 15-minute sales pitch now? Well, no, really, it's to demonstrate that I can tell you these because we tracked and we measured them. John Wanamaker famously said, "Half my advertising is wasted. I just don't know which half." I'm sure we're all familiar with that saying. And actually it's amazing still to this day how many businesses are still in that situation. And yet unfortunately he passed away nearly 100 years ago. In the meantime we've had a digital revolution, and there's no longer, it's never been easier to track, measure and report. So as businesses, there's no excuses to be in this situation. So why is it so important? Was firstly important to measure our successes, what's working for your business, but also just as important to measure your failures, because not every marketing campaign will work. But if we track, we measure, we report and then analyse, then we can apply and learn and use it wisely and your spend to grow your business. So there are different ways that we can do this. How can we track all of your leads, inquiries and campaigns? There can be simple methods, such as you can train your team to ask, how did you hear about our company? But often that, in practice, that sometimes gets missed, that stage. And then what if the customer responds and says, well, I found you on Google. Okay, that's great, but did you find us organically? Apply for both small businesses and startups, as well as big blue chip organisations. We've got so many tools available to us as business owners, and they're often on a user basis. So years ago, people would have to invest hundreds of thousands of pounds on systems, and yet a startup can tap into this resource from tomorrow. So it's a fantastic opportunity. It's also a very dangerous one for established companies. They must be aware of this in their competition. To the first area we include here, having dedicated telephone numbers. Now these are low cost, they don't require separate phone lines, they can all be diverted to your central line coming through. But it's absolutely perfect if you're doing different campaigns and you're using different channels, such as advertising. If you've got an advert, that can have a specific number. Perhaps promotional goods that you're giving out at an exhibition, on your business cards. And then even though these numbers are coming in centrally, they're actually, these statistics are being monitored. And you can start looking at the number of leads that have been generated, but also looking at the quality of them by monitoring things such as the length of time on the phone. The second area would be website analytics. The Google Analytics is such a powerful tool. You could literally lose days just looking at your website and all of the information that's on there. But it can highlight, and especially using some of the reporting, both your best and worst performing pages. So if you start looking at things like bounce rates, which is when a person exits the website on a page, then question why, if it's very high. Could it be that your images on there are too large, so your load time is being effective and people are turned off and leaving? Could it be that it works well on a desktop? When you look on a mobile version, perhaps it doesn't display as well. But using the analytics, you can look at this and monitor your consumers' behaviour. Also through Google Analytics, you can set goals, and this is a great feature. So it might be for someone to do a transaction, to download a form, to give you details, but you can set those goals. And it also provides another tool, which is Google Studio, which pulls through all of your data through the analytics from your website. It can present it in quite a nice format. There's live data, you can change everything online. But all of these tools are available completely free of charge. The third area are landing pages. So this is a specific entry point to your website, and you can tie these in with a URL and again on one of your campaigns. Often these are popular if you've got a very strong call to action that you want to include. Perhaps it's to get someone to sign up to then get them into a marketing automation. But you can have these very specific, and again the information is recorded on these landing pages through your Google Analytics, so you've got that central viewpoint. A fourth way would be promotional codes. I'm sure all of us have included a promotional code in our baskets at the end of an online transaction to get a discount or an extra incentive. But if we can monitor those codes, see which campaigns are working and what's leading to this point, then again we can learn what's working for your business. The fifth area is A/B testing. This is personally something I get quite excited about. But that's when either online or on emails you have two versions. So you have a version A and a version B. On a web page, 50% of your traffic will see each one. Then, using your Google Analytics, you can start seeing what's working and which one is working better. And at the end of your trial period, can have it there. And as people, we're incredibly hard to predict, especially online. And the most minor changes can have significant implications to your results. It might be the colour of a button that's your call to action, or some slight tweaks in the wording. But the results just from making those changes can be incredible. If you apply A/B testing onto your digital marketing, such as your newsletters or an e-shop that's going out, then any good email marketing tool will allow you to do this. You could change something such as the subject line. It will send out to part of your database, version A, part of your database, version B. Then, after a period of time, it will monitor which one has got the most open rates, or if it was click-through rates. And then intelligently, all for you, it will then send out the most successful version on the A/B to the rest of your database. It can be so easy to assume we know what people will do, what they'll open, but trust me, personally, from some of the tests we've done, the results can be surprising. And again, as people, we're so hard to predict. And then finally, I want to mention email automation. So it really goes on from what Barnaby says about how many touch points we need to have with our customer. And email automation is such a great opportunity. So if you set up, if you have a campaign, it's usually to try and get people's email addresses. Perhaps you've done that by giving them a resource that's appropriate for your target market that they want to do. And then you can start feeding them into your pipeline and go through the email automation. It's quite a bit of work to do at the start, and it requires quite a bit of thought, but done correctly, and once it's done, you can literally step back, and then that process of marketing email automation is nurturing your customers, building up that brand. So in summary, digital marketing offers amazing scope for your businesses. We can monitor, report and analyse like never before. We've only scratched the surface really on these 6 techniques, but I hope that some of these you can apply to your businesses if you aren't already doing so. I'm here afterwards if you want to discuss any of the concepts in more detail. I'd also like to offer all attendees this opportunity. I've got a landing page, as you can see there, so practicing what I preach, but you won't go into an email automation, it's okay. So I'd encourage you to use what you've learned today, and let's try to learn from John Wanamaker and use the digital technologies to monitor our brands online.
Thank you, James. So guys, you are watching the Bella Networking Facebook show, and we're live in London at a live seminar all about branding and how to track online branding performance. And what an amazing job James did. What do you think, audience? Let's give him another round of applause. So you're probably hearing the clapping, right? So yes, we're in London, St. Paul's, with an audience at this live seminar.
Just let me know. Just take your time. Young nigga, my niggas stay on your